All right, guys. Hope you're doing fine. First thing I need to know if you guys can hear me well. So please let me know on the chat if you guys can hear me, and then we go from there. Big shout out to everyone in the chat. So hi Canada, everyone. Just let me know, guys, if you can hear me well. I can hear you. Great. So guys, good morning from Japan. It's about 10:03 Monday morning, so it's Sunday night in the US. So hello everyone. Hello Sunflower. Here, great, thank you. Sounds good. Hand pink waving. I don't know about that. So let me go ahead and highlight these comments here before we get started. Thank you, Coco Wheat. Okay, you are one of the best. Thank you so much. All right. Now this I gotta show this display this message here, this post. Somebody, flattered guy, please email Mike Smith, horizontally based. So if you are in the chat or later gonna watch later, please get in touch with Mike Smith, all right? Hello, Seattle Green. The Seattle Green, the earth is flat and stationary. We are not moving upwards, brother. Okay, you know that. Okay, yeah, we're gonna cover this topic today. Now, I'm not an expert in sailing or anything like that. I just look at this stuff and we're gonna talk. Let's see what's gonna happen. Okay. Yeah, I love that banjo too. All right. So as a matter of fact, let me explain that. People ask me why, this flat Earth, banjo, USA, Japan, and Brazil. The banjo part is because I went to college in Alabama. So in Alabama, every Thursday, where close to where we lived, there was this bluegrass meet up, like people join together to play bluegrass music. And I just fell in love, and I saw the guy playing the banjo so well. So if you guys remember, some of you who have been with me for many, many years, 6, 7 years, I used to just play my banjo here, Uh, uh, if you have 700 hours of picking the banjo, you can play as good as those flats and those two bluegrass guys. So I was able to play a lot of songs, like a lot of about. I could play easily 40 bluegrass songs. I just gave up the banjo because once I learned all the, I lived in Alabama. I enjoyed country music. Okay, but once I found out most of them were members of secret societies, I really felt disgusted. So I gave up all that stuff. So, but that's the banjo part of my channel's name. And Japan, Brazil, USA, because my wife is Japanese, I'm going to be showing some family pictures today. And both of my daughters were born in the US, and I'm from Brazil. So we have this international family, okay, 3 nationalities in one family. So that's why it is USA, Japan, and Brazil. All right, so let me see what else. Saskatchewan. Okay, guys from Canada, big hug to you. Sunflower, everyone in the chat. No, rotating stationary level. That's what it is. You're not moving upwards or whatever. My first live, hello from Kentucky, USA. Hello from Kentucky. I have never been to Kentucky. I've been to Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, and Alabama. I went to Mississippi, but unfortunately, I have never been to Kentucky. It was I really wanted to go um, to Kentucky, but and let me see what else. Yes, Seattle Green, sea level, always sea level. Yeah, Canterland. Yeah, I love the picking the banjo, and that's the perfect opening, having that all those charlatans from the fake space agency. So I'm going to start with some shout outs. I'm going to share my screen here real quick. And first shout out to Dimitri. Dimitri is the Russian guy who restored the Gleason's map, and we will be working with the Gleason's map today. So yeah, and I want to show something here really, really cool. So let me share my screen. Guess it's this one. Hold on, guys. It's computer decided to update right now. Okay, so let me share my screen. And big shout out to this guy. Okay, so I'm gonna show his name if you want to get in touch with him. This is the new restored, the restored Gleason's map, and he printed it on a board on a piece of wood. Okay, and he did really a good job. Right, this is on a piece of wood, and he, let me show my another one right here. So if you want to get in touch with him, that's his name, Michael Dodson. His email is right here, drum15gmail.com. And if you want to have one of those, you can get in touch with him. And it's I really enjoyed. I'm in Japan, so it's very hard for me to order anything from the US nowadays. Used to be fast and quick, and now it can take forever. It's very expensive. So I'm trying not to order anything, but this is a very cool cutting board. It's a cutting board, and he printed the newly restored Gleason's map on it. So if you are interested in one of these, get in touch with Michael Dodson. Okay? All right, so let me move on to the next one. So Caleb was supposed to be here today. You know, Caleb Flat Earth, shout out to him, but he has had uh, some problems, some personal problems, so he's not making it today, which is okay. We will be able to uh, move on. We have a lot of things to talk. So I want to also shout out to Nathan. Okay, let me share my screen again. Numbers. The second. Okay. So big shout out to Nathan. I enjoy listening to his show. Okay, 10th Man, all those guys, Brian, and they do a very good job. And shout out to him. Okay, because if you watch the last week's episode when I showed all the threats that I had, not all, those are just a few of them. I have received more, but especially that pilot Wolf 6020. Again, he starts saying, "Well, he's sick. He's got some illness, whatever." And it doesn't make that the fact that I'm sick or not doesn't make hurt a ball. Okay, I could go blind, I could go crippled, I could lose my hands, my ability to walk. It's still Earth is still flat. Right? So, it doesn't matter what happens to me. Earth is still stationary plane, and that's the way it is. And I want to thank you all, you guys who, uh, last week I explained about what's going on with my family. My mother, my father, they're still alive. My father is 90 years old. My mom is 87. And my sister, who took care of them, she fell down and she broke her hip, which makes now she's on a wheelchair. So things are really complicated. I need to hire a caregiver to take care of them. And I'm here in Japan, and my family lives in Brazil. So it's very complicated. So I reached out last week. Some people were able to help me out. I appreciate. Thank you so very much. And I removed the Patreon things. I don't want to have Patreon. Nobody it needs to be committed to that. If you feel like supporting this channel or any of my work, here's my PayPal. Thank you so much. But I removed the Patreon because I just don't want to deal with that. Okay. And I think that's all. We can go ahead and get started to what we have to talk today. Now, there are two things linked to the boat race. Okay, so I decided to also talk about this thing here. There is a video in Russian, and I'm going to go ahead and place the link in the chat because it's this video here. It's all in Russian, so you need to go here and add the English subtitles. This video talks about this admiral from Russia. I can't pronounce his name. Okay, Bellinghausen, I don't know. Expedition to Antarctica on a round flat Earth. And I think it's a good topic for us to start to talk. Let's start from here. And we all know how they have been faking history. And they change dates, they change locations, they change shapes, they change maps. And they do it. They have been doing this for a while. And I believe the ball earth really got started in the early 1800s. All right. So this Russian admiral, he rose to the rank of admiral, and he was a prominent cartographer. He was appointed to command the Russian circumnavigation of the Earth in 1819, 1821. It took him 2 years to do it. So I took some screenshots from the video. You can watch it yourself. It took him 2 years, and he recorded 49,860 nautical miles, which makes 2.25 times if he was really circumnavigating Antarctica on the ball earth, 13,000 kilometers, 15,000 kilometers, something like that. Now, the most interesting part is that he wrote everything about it, okay? And as you see here, these are the coordinates. He followed the 360 degrees coordinates. If you guys know, we have the meridian, the ball earth brought the meridian, 0, 180 east, 180 west. And then you have 360 degrees. But before the ball earth, we had all 360 degrees. Like here, and this is pointed out in the video. This is the Urbano Monte map, 1587. And if you guys see here, these are the coordinates. We have the longitude lines. This is the equator right here. You have north, south, and you can see this is all at 360 degrees, 355, 360, 56, 7, 8, 9, okay? So this is the coordinates he used. He used the flat Earth map. And the most interesting is 10 years later, or 20 years later, when the new edition came out of his book, they changed it to globe. Okay, they added the ball earth, and they changed everything. They changed, but they were lazy. They were not able to change what he wrote. Okay, because it was a book. They added the map. They changed the map, but they were lazy. They didn't change the content of the book. So if you read the book, you see there all the maps are different. It's all based on a flat Earth map. So just like it happened in Tartaria or whatever, they go back and they erase, they change history, they just change stuff, you know? They create a fake reality. Now, a few years ago, I think it was 2017, there was a channel I really enjoyed. I think it was Red Pill Philosophy. He had almost 300,000 followers, subscribers, 200,000. One thing he made him flip to flat Earth was because he went to Wikipedia, and Wikipedia or Google, they had an entry on Auguste Piccard, okay, the first man to reach the stratosphere. So it was always since the 1931 Science magazine, popular Science magazine, it was the same thing. Like uh, Picard said, the Earth is looks like a flat disk with the upturned edge, and the first man to reach the stratosphere. And they changed it. Wikipedia and Google, they wrote now the first man to see the curvature of Earth. And that made that guy flip. He said, well, they're changing everything, you know? And that's what they did. From the 1800s, uh, they have changed everything. They replaced the ball. So this is the route of this Russian captain. This is Dimitri's restore map. And so he went from St. Petersburg to Rio, and from there he circumnavigated, heading east. Sorry, he went east, and because this is the way the ocean currents go, right? So he headed this way, and this is his route. It took him 2 years and something. He recorded 49,000, almost 50,000 miles. You see the difference between Captain Cook. Captain Cook, he made a much wider uh, trip because he was trying to find an inland passageway or something. So Cook recorded 60,000 miles, and it took him 3 years. Now this Russian, he went about the 60th parallel, and he recorded about 50,000 miles. Okay, so that's important for us to talk about it because the ocean race, which we will start talking in a few minutes, has this almost similar. Okay, with the difference that they will start in Cape Town. So let me check the chat one more time before we get started with this ocean race. Let me go back here and close this window. We don't need it anymore. We don't need this. And let me check the chat real quick. All right, so let me see. Hi, Nusboy. Thank you. Big hug to everybody in Brazil. God bless you guys. Sétima visão. God bless you guys in Brazil. Bom dia here in Japan. Good evening, good night. Yes, yes, a lot of information, good information on the Gleason's map. Canterland, yes, they changed everything. Good day, all my brothers and sisters of this beautiful horizontal plane. We dwell atop. I hope you all having a blessed day. Hi, Paige, big hug to you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, let me show some pictures of my family, okay, guys, before we get started, okay? Thank you so much, Sato Green, okay? Message to Caleb. Caleb, please email me when you get this Mikey from Canada. So let me share some pictures here of my family. Okay, I was supposed to do that several weeks ago. So share screen again. And this one. All right, so this is when I've been married for 26 years. So you see how handsome I used to be, you know? Yeah, I'm old now. I'm 57. I'm gonna turn 58. But this is my wife, Mitsuko, and me. This picture was taken 26 years ago. And this is, I was wearing Western clothes, and here, Japanese style clothes, okay? So this is when we got married a long time ago. This picture we took in Alabama, actually, at a mall in Alabama. My kids were babies. So this is when Erica, when she was tiny. I don't remember how old she was, but it was here already here in Japan. This is Ellie and Erica on a ski trip here in Japan. This is us. My daughter was still 11, I guess. Blossom. This is a beautiful time here in Japan. Oh, let me remove this comment real quick here. So here in Japan, we have the sakura, the blossom, the cherry blossom. It's a beautiful time. So there we were. And this is another picture of my family. Okay, me, my wife, my daughter Ellen, and Erica. This is Ellen now. This is the latest picture, but she has had a haircut. And so her hair is a little shorter now, a little bit shorter. This is Ellen in New York City. She was living in the US before the whole pandemic started. She was going to attend uh, nursing school. Okay, she's an American citizen. She was in Indianapolis. So this is her at in an emergency in a hospital. She was doing some 1 week like training, whatever. So of course I covered the picture of this guy. And this is Erica. She got baptized a few months ago here in Japan. And this is picture was taken the day she was baptized. Don't need this. Hold on. Couple more pictures here. So this was now. I just took this picture last Christmas with my wife. We were at a restaurant. This is my daughter. Now, guys, please, here in Japan, in Asia in general, China, Taiwan, kids, since they are in sixth grade, whenever they post for pictures, they do the peace sign. Okay, so this is part of the culture in Japan. Come to Japan, live here. You're gonna see. It has nothing to do with Freemasons or whatever. This picture was also taken in Alabama. This is a T-shirt I got from the police academy in Brazil. They have this star. I didn't know anything about the Baphomet star, whatever, but this is they give this to police officers, and one of my family members is a police officer, so he gave me this T-shirt. But this picture we took in Alabama. I was much stronger there. I used to go to the gym, a little bit fat too, but it's all right. So I think that's it about. Oh yeah. So my daughter, someone asked me if I am planning to write another book. And my daughter, this is Erica, my youngest, she's 17, and she does a lot of nice drawings. Okay, this is herself. Here in Japan, they do like a manga style. And I asked her, Erica, let's write a children's book, a flat children's book. So she's going to take some more these drawing classes. And we will probably be working on a project together, similar to what Eric Dubay did, The Earth Plane. We're going to be working on a new book. It's going to be more like a comic book or something, but we will be working. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with this ocean boat. Check the chat one more time. All right, so let me see here if everything is okay. Good day, all my brothers. Don't they claim one leg is 30,000? Yeah, they do. Okay, 32,000. So we're gonna look at that. Big hug to you guys, everybody in the chat. Hello, bunch. I'm a big fan. Thanks for your work. Hi. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for everything. Okay. Hello, I'm from Indonesia. Hello from Indonesia. Very nice. I'm in Asia. Indonesia. You know what, guys? Indonesia had a big like Facebook group, like over 100,000. The government made them shut down. It was a flat Earth group on Facebook. The government shut down. So they're shutting down flat Earth information everywhere. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is the culture here in Asia. I mean, I showed even Russian vids. I sent him an email. Say, look, go to Google, Japanese elementary school class picture. I mean, all the kids are doing this, okay? It's just like the way it is, right? I live in Nagasaki. Literally every picture you take will have the peace sign. Exactly. Here in Japan is a good thing. Hello from Japan. I got somebody from Japan here. Hi, konnichiwa. Long Island. Hi, Long Island. Kentucky again. God bless Kentucky. I really wanted to go to Kentucky, you know. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So I made a video. It's going to be on my channel this week. 12 minutes video about this ocean race. So here for presentation today, I divided it into 3 parts. We're going to watch 4 minutes, and then we talk about it. 4 more minutes, we talk about it, and the last 4 minutes. As I said, I am not an expert in sailing. I do most of my work based on flight routes. I worked in airline, logistics, and cargo. So we knew all the routes all over the plane. That's why I'm you know, this is my strong point, I can say. But sailing, I have been requested to work on this. So let's go ahead and watch the first part, and then we will stop for comments, okay? This one. Hello guys, hope you're all doing fine today. We're gonna be looking at this ocean race 2022-23. This is how the legs look like on the flat earth map. This is the new restored distance map, restored by Dimitri. And we're going to be looking at all these legs and examining them. That's the first part, from Alicante to Cape Town. And then from Cape Town, they're going to go all the way to Itajaí, Brazil. And that's the one that we will be concentrated on today. All the other legs are not really important. So I've been doing some research on this matter, and I'm going to present it today, what I think the situation could be here. So I based the speed of this boat on a race back in 2012 from Alicante to Cape Town. And then with that speed, I used to calculate the trajectory and the speed from Cape Town to Itajaí, Brazil. Let me show what I have found. This is how the race trajectory looks like on the Mercator's projection. Again, we will only concentrate on the leg 3 from Cape Town, South Africa to Itajaí, Brazil. The whole trajectory is supposed to be 32,000 nautical miles, about 60,000 kilometers. Leg 3 between Cape Town and Itajaí, Brazil, we were given the numbers of 12,750 nautical miles. That's the distance according to the organizers, and according to the globe model, that would be the distance between Cape Town and Itajaí. And according to the organizers, it's going to take 34 days for them to conclude this leg 3. As I said in the beginning, I will calculate the speed based on the leg number 1 done in 2012 between Alicante and Cape Town. They were able to navigate 548 nautical miles over one 24-hour period on an average of 22.8 knots per hour. Just to make things a little bit easier, 548 nautical miles equals to 630 statute miles in a 24-hour period. Leg 3, 12,750 nautical miles, converted turns into 14,442 statute miles. At the speed of 22.8 knots a day, they would cover this distance in 23 days, but they were given 34 days. Why? 22.8 knots per hour is not the highest speed. Speeds of 28 knots per hour have been reached in past races. This is the ocean currents according to the flat earth map and also according to the globe. Calculating the speed of these ocean currents not easy. The main current in the Southern Ocean is the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, ACC. The ACC is the biggest current in the world and can transport up to 150 billion liters per second of water and reach speeds in narrow channels of up to 1 meter per second. But how do we calculate the speed of the currents? All right, this is the first part, so let's explore this a little bit. And I have to share the screen again. And let's go from there. Let's see what's going on with this race. All right, let me open here the folder. Okay. So share screen. And this one. So what I did, I based the very first part. Let me open this picture here. The Alicante to Cape Town, back in 2012, the boat recorded a speed of 22.8 knots per hour. But the thing is, we're going to look at the part 2 about just like we have the jet streams around on top, the winds, we have the ocean currents. And the leg from Alicante to Cape Town, he was actually able to record 22.8 knots per hour, but he was not going with the stream. He was going like if you read the whole article, the newspaper article, they had trouble actually reaching because in some parts they were going almost like against the stream, like against the currents, okay? Going from Alicante, Spain to South Africa. So you see, he was not going with like the parts where they're gonna go around Antarctica, okay? So that's what I did, okay? I based on this article right here that back in 2011, the Team Telefonica notched an impressive 548 nautical miles over 124-hour period, averaging 22.8 knots, okay? And the Team New Zealand, 22.7 nautical miles, okay? So the average, 548 nautical miles a day. And if you pick the distance here, which is 12,750 nautical miles between Cape Town and Itajaí on the globe, leg 3, and you would conclude that in 23 days, and they are giving 34 days, right? That's a lot. It's like 12 days, extra days. So of course they're not sailing around the globe, okay? And showing the map here, this is very similar to what the Russian guy did, and they're always going this way here because this is the direction of the currents, okay? So let me take a quick look at the comments, and we're gonna go to part 2. We will only be able to talk more about when we watch all 3 parts, but let me see real quick here. So I believe they were not using foils in 2012, but they will be this year, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let me display this one here. Hi, Eddie. Cincinnati, Ohio here. I have a question. If the Earth were round, how big it would be? Round, you mean like flat? Okay. Since we are the Antarctic pond, it would have to be huge, bigger than the Heliosan. Yes, just a particle. Yeah, guys. This Russian, if you go back to the beginning, if you have missed hot mess, if you have missed the beginning of this live stream, go back and I'm talking about the Russian explorer who, uh, if you watch the video, there is a subtitles in English. They give the exactly the dimensions. Okay, how like 24,000 miles around the equator, and you have the perimeter of Antarctica. Not the perimeter, but they give you like 155,000 kilometers. About what? 96,000 miles, right? So go back, but you need to watch that Russian video because they give a lot of numbers there. So let's go ahead and play part 2. And also when we finish all 3 parts is that we will really be getting to a conclusion. So let's watch part 2 here. In this National Ocean Service webpage, says that to measure currents, you need 3 basic tools: an observer, a floating object or a drifter, and a timing device. An observer stands on a ship, throws the drifter into the water, and then measures the time that it takes that object to move along the side of a ship. As technology improved over time, oceanographers began using mechanical current meters. A ship would deploy a meter, and usually some sort of rotor would turn and measure the currents. This is still the basic process today. However, there are more accurate and sophisticated instruments. This current around the Antarctica is the biggest and the fastest one, as this professor explains.
So I've mentioned several times that the Southern Ocean is special because it has no zonal boundaries. It's a complete channel. Since the Southern Ocean is a channel, winds can keep on churning it. So the main features here are the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, one of the more famous currents. It's also known as the West Wind Drift, and it's the only current to completely go around the Earth because of the special channel configuration of this ocean. And this obviously moves more water in terms of sphere drips, the transport, than any other current in the world, right? So look at this figure carefully. It is showing multiple convergences and divergences here. So you have the Antarctic Circumpolar Current outside, or the West Wind Drift.
As a matter of fact, in this National Geographic website, they call the ocean currents as ocean conveyor belt. They are similar to the jet streams. Once you are flying with the jet stream or sailing along this oceanic conveyor belt, you have no friction because you are moving forward with the current and not against it. So to better explain, let's imagine a person standing on a conveyor belt, walking conveyor belt, found in airports all over the world. So as you observe this person, he is just standing on the conveyor belt, and in 28 seconds, let's see how many people will go by in front of the screen if the person only stands on the conveyor belt. On example number 2, we will see this person walking, and you can see how much faster he moves from left to right. And in this example, we're going to see a person going the opposite side. As you can see, he remains on the same spot, no matter how hard he tries to go against the flow. So that's why they always organize this race going from west to east, because they will go with the flow. They're going to go with the ocean currents, especially this Antarctic current, which is one of the biggest and fastest one, and that's the way they will be going from west to east. All right, so this was part 2, and you guys could see the guy is when you walk down the. Let me show here real quick. Share screen again. Mute and share screen. All right, so when you get to here to this guy, you see him when you walk. When you walk down those walking conveyor belts at the airports, how much faster you go, okay? So it doesn't mean that the guy's running. He's still walking. Let's say a person walks in a regular speed of what? 2 miles per hour, 3 miles per hour. It's regular walking speed. So it's not he himself is still walking 2 or 3 miles per hour. But the conveyor belt he's adding his speed to the speed of the conveyor belt. So that's why he goes so much faster. And in here, he's just standing there. You can imagine a boat with no engine, no sail, just going with the flow. But here, you can imagine a boat with a sail, with an engine, and going much faster because you're going with the stream. Right? You add both speed. So that's the thing about it, the ocean race. They can still say, well, we are recording 22.8 knots. That's the speed of the boat. Yeah, but you have to add the speed of the currents, which says there, back then, it adds 1 meter per second, right? Or even more than that, we don't know. So this is going against the flow, but if you go back here, when you go with the flow, you go a lot faster. This is the same what happens with the jet streams. They are flights coming from west to east, from Sydney to Santiago. That's why they're able to do in 12 hours, 13 hours, because you have the speed of the airplane, 550 miles, which is way more than that, add to 200, 300 miles from the jet stream. They don't report that, okay? All right, so let me look at the chat real quick before we go to part 3, and then we will go ahead and talk more about it. Let me look at the comments real quick. So shalom banjo everyone, shalom everybody. Okay, holy crap 96. Hi Larry, Ohio here. Hello Ohio. Hello, Canada, a lot of Canadians here. A lot of Canadians here in Japan, they come here to teach English. A lot of Canadians here. The other day we took a subway. There were like 4 Canadians. There is a school here called Canadian Academy. There's a channel that brings me to a standstill, even with a good breeze. The current is incredibly important when navigating. Of course, it is because you gain speed with that, right? So let's go ahead and play part 3, and then we will go back and talk specifically. Part 3. As someone posted a comment on a past video, which says, here is their version of the race displayed on a Mercator's projection. From beginning of leg 2 to the beginning of leg 4 is almost 2 months. They are supposed to arrive in Brazil on April 1st after departing Cape Town on February 26-27, but then it will take them almost 4 weeks to start leg 4, while in most legs that get just about 1 week break in between. I don't think they will complete the leg South Africa to Brazil in 34 days, and then take a 4 weeks break before going to Newport. We have already seen that these ocean currents are called ocean conveyor belt, which means they move from one direction to the other, and anyone who gets on these conveyor belts benefit adding the speed of the current with the speed of the boat. There will be 60 days between start of leg 3 to the start of leg 4, even though they claim that the race itself from South Africa to Brazil will take only 34 days. Let's imagine that they are doing 28 knots per hour, which means 32 miles per hour. So you multiply 32 miles per hour for 24 hours, they would cover 773 miles a day. 773 miles a day for 34 days equals to 26,282 miles. That's calculating that they can reach the speed of 28 knots. But we don't know how fast those currents are around the Antarctic Circle. Let's calculate if they reach the speed of 35 knots per hour or 40 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour times 24 equals 966 miles a day. 966 miles a day for 34 days equals to 32,860 miles. Remember, there is no friction because they are going with the currents, not against it. Not knowing exactly the speed the southern currents can reach makes it difficult to know how fast these boats are going along the currents. Very similar to what happens to the jet streams around the edge of the flat Earth. Those winds can reach speed of up to 300 miles per hour. And remember, there is never a friction because they are not flying, or in this case, sailing against the currents. That's why they are going from west to east. They are moving along with the currents, adding to the speed of the boat. One thing we know for sure, if the Earth was a ball, it wouldn't take them 34 days to complete this leg. It would take them the most 23 days. But they have 60 days between the beginning of leg 3 from South Africa to Brazil to the beginning of leg 4 from Brazil to Newport. So it might take them 34 days, 37 days, 40 days, we don't know. At this point, the only thing I can tell you is that if we were on a ball, it would not take them 34 days to go from South Africa to Brazil. It would take them the most 23 days. That's all for today, guys. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye. Alright, guys, this is what I worked this past few weeks. And all I can say, if they recorded a 22.8 nautical miles per hour in 2011, and the other speeds of 28 nautical miles per hour have been recorded in the past, adding to with the speed of the currents. We don't know exactly if they can make 35 miles per hour, nautical miles per hour, 40 nautical miles. Not the boat itself, but I'm talking about adding the speed of one to the other, like the guy who was just walking down let me find here again, share screen. This one. Okay, like this guy here, he's walking down, his speed adds to the speed of the conveyor belt. So you see here, in 28 seconds, you see 5 guys going by, when if he was just standing there, you would see only 3 guys going by, because you double the speed, right? You double the speed. So how far are those boats going with the stream? We don't know, right? What we know is that they have 60 days between the start of leg 3, which is when they leave Cape Town on February 23rd, 3rd, I guess. Yeah, leg start right here to the beginning of leg 4 when they leave Itajaí to Newport. So you have 60 days here. So let's say that they are taking 40 days. We will not know because, I mean, there's no way to know. They can be going really really fast, but they will report like, well, the racers took 45 days to complete because they have encountered a lot of bad weather. They can say a lot of excuses, and we don't know. Although, in fact, they are going as fast as they can report saying that they had to go as slow as possible because of stormy waters, bad weather. This is what happens. So we will never know for sure. Okay, but the fact is they have 60 days between the start of leg 3 to the start of leg 4. On a ball worth, it should take them 23 days, 25 days, let's say, to complete this race. But coincidentally, they will have 60 days between leg 3 and leg 4. Right? So you, the only conclusion that I get is that, of course, they are sailing a much bigger Earth than we are told. Right? They are going all this region here. Okay, and just as we just saw with the Russian admiral, took him 2 years, and he recorded 45,000 miles. Okay, he recorded here. Okay, so if you discount this part, let's say he started here, and I believe listens on his book, the distance between the tip of South America to the tip of South Africa in his book, it's about 6,000 miles, I guess. So if this captain, Russian captain, recorded 45,000 miles, a complete circle, you can discount here 6,000 miles. So let's say around 39,000 miles, right? And it's equals to what? I had calculated about 40 knots per hour. Again, I'm talking about not the boat itself sailing at a speed of 40 knots an hour. I'm saying, like, let's say 28 nautical miles per hour plus the speed of the currents. Okay, because you cannot deny the currents are there. And I have some animation here showing. This is from this one. It's from their website when they used to have the AE projection, new school. They still have the globe projection. They don't have this anymore. Okay, the oceans itself, the AE projection, they don't have anymore. But you can see here, all right, they will be sailing along with these currents here that it's called the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, ACC. So we don't know. I mean, all that I can say is that they are they are sailing with this conveyor belt here. Okay, from Africa going around to Itajaí, they are sailing on this conveyor belt, which is the ocean currents, okay, Antarctic currents. All right, let me check the chat real quick. Let me go back to this. There is something else that I will be talking about. So I read the 16th Measurement book, and it's awful. Flight pets are best explained on a globe. Come on. All right, let me say to this guy, let me see if I got a Gotta show this guy here something. Okay, flight routes. Okay, this guy says that the flight path are better explained on a globe. Here you go, my friend. If you're there, let me share the screen again. All right, Buenos Aires to Perth, man. This is the globe. What's going on here? Why do you have to stop in South Africa? Why do you have to stop in South Africa to go from Buenos Aires to Perth? Why? You tell me the flight path is better explained a globe. It's not. Okay, you're wrong. It's better explained on the flat Earth map. That's why from Buenos Aires to Perth, you have to stop in South Africa because Earth is not a ball. Okay? All right. So you want more? I'll give you more. Okay? Got plenty for you here. Okay? All right. How about these emergency landings here? All three happen in northwest of the USA. Okay? All three of them. All right? Hawaii to New York. Stop in San Francisco. All right? Why? Because this is how the Earth looks like. The Earth is flat. Okay? The so-called Great Circle routes are nothing more, nothing less than the parallel lines. And the greater, the the farther you go, the greater the circles are. Because let's say the greater, and then the, Tropic of Capricorn, you have Cancer, equator. They're always a greater circle. That's what they mean. You don't know anything. You don't know history. You don't know how the Portuguese sail. All right, you have no idea. All right, let me show here. This is the 1514 Portuguese flat Earth map. All right, see here, flat Earth. I am talking about the guys who say they discovered the whole world. Okay, if you learn in school that Captain Cook discovered Australia, it's wrong. The Portuguese here in 1522 had already mapped Australia, navigating on a flat Earth. Okay, not a ball. There was no ball in 1522. You have to learn the real history. Okay, because they made up everything. Everything is a lie. Okay, one more. I'll show you more. Okay, Great Circle Route right here, Chicago to Doha. Right? This is the way they fly. It doesn't make sense. If the Great Circle Route on the globe was true, they wouldn't fly this route right here, but that's how they fly, okay? Which equals to this projection here, which you say that it's not the right one, right? So you don't know anything. You think you do, but you don't, right? So I can show you many, many pictures. All right, since this is what you're saying, let's look at this one. Auckland to Mexico City. Why don't you fly straight on a ball? You say that on flight routes make more sense on a globe. Tell me, explain why you can't fly from Auckland to Mexico City. It's only 6,000 miles. Why do you have to stop in Los Angeles? There's no direct flight from Auckland to Mexico City. Now, Mexico City has one of the greatest heritage. You have all the Aztec Maya, the pyramids. Millions of people from Japan here, they go to Mexico City. Why? Because the Earth is flat. Okay, you're wrong. All right, you want more? Give you more. If you're from Australia, why can't you fly straight to Peru? Sydney to Lima. Why can't you fly straight to Peru? It doesn't make sense on a globe because Earth is not a globe. You have to go from Sydney to Los Angeles and then to Lima, Peru. So what happened at the beginning of the pandemic? Thousands and thousands of Australians were trapped in Lima because they go to see one of the seventh wonders of the world, which is Machu Picchu. Okay, where they were all there, trapped, stranded there. They could not go back. Why don't you have a Sydney Lima Peru flight? Because you can't. Okay, you can't. It's too far away. Because this is the layout of the Earth. Earth is not a ball. You don't have a Sydney to Lima Peru flight because you can make it. The distance is much greater. Okay, so don't tell me that flight routes makes more sense in the globe, because they don't. Right? They just don't. I mean, I can go on all day here. Okay, how about these flights from Buenos Aires to Qatar, the World Cup? They had to stop in Rome. Why? Because it's a straight path right here. They can. There's no way they can stop here in Africa. There's no way. Okay, Buenos Aires, Cape Town stops in Amsterdam. Okay, you want to go to India? Why don't you stop in Africa? There's no way. This is the layout of the Earth. I can go here for days just talking about flight path. So don't tell me. Actually, a matter of fact, guys, I'm gonna go home. I have to play this thing here for you. Since this guy got me started, what's the real shape of the Earth? Okay, so let's watch this thing here.
But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
Yeah.
Now, we've established that the Earth isn't flat, but it's not exactly round either, and nor is it a perfect sphere. In fact, we've been able to get a better idea of the Earth's true shape over time, and it turns out that it's bumpy and lumpy and rather oddly shaped, and there's this uneven distribution of mass on our planet.
Well, the Earth is not a perfect sphere. It's the fact that the Earth is squashed. The Earth is actually a little bit shorter in the pole-to-pole direction than it is if you took the diameter across the equator. It's squashed in this direction. This actually gives us what's called a semi-major and a semi-minor axis.
Is a sphere. So people have known that the Earth is spherical for thousands of years. We really need to put this question to bed because we've known the Earth is a sphere for a long time.
So what's the real shape of the Earth? All right? What's the real shape of the Earth? And guys, to make things really crazier, okay? I mean, these globers, they are out of their mind, okay? So they have this projection here called the geoid projection, okay? How do you flight plan on this thing? Right? How do you flight plan on this thing? Some parts are, it's called the potato shape. And this is not a joke. If you go to in India, like a lot of channels, science channels in India, they don't teach the Earth is a ball. They teach this is the shape of the Earth, this geoid. So how can you flight plan on this thing? Okay, and let's go live here and open this. So here you see this potato-shaped Earth, and it's loading. Give me just a few seconds. We're probably going to go a little bit longer today. I will not be here next week. All right, so this is what we have, okay? This is the blue marble according to this potato-shaped Earth. This is not a joke, guys. ESA, the European Space Agency, spent 350 million euros on a satellite mapping Earth, and this is what they say it's the real shape of the Earth. All right, and this is, now how can you flight plan on this thing? All right, let's say you are in Florida, you want to go to Italy. You're going to fly straight on level, not accounting for any curvature, because between this part of this potato-shaped Earth to the mountain here, you have to go fly straight, and then you got to make a sharp downturn to go to Italy. And remember, they don't fly like this because according to the globe, this is not the shortest path, right, on the globe. So you guys tell me that the flight path makes more sense on the globe. Which globe? Potato-shaped? The pear-shaped, like Neil deGrasse Tyson said? So this is how can you fly? For example, I'm flying from Colombia to Spain. I mean, this is absolutely crazy, and this is science. This is what they say Earth looks like, uh, according to the ESA, European Space Agency, and this is the same thing covering with the oceans, right? I mean, you gotta be joking. How can you flight plan on this thing? Okay, these guys are crazy. That's why I have this uh, Bible verse: professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, because that's what they are. They're fools. Okay, I'm not calling you guys fools, because as a Christian, we are not supposed to be calling anybody fool. The Bible calls you fools. God calls you a fool because you're a fool believing this nonsense. So let me go show one more thing here. This flight from New York to Shanghai in China by China Air. They use a Boeing 777-300ER extended range. The distance between these two places is 11,897 kilometers, or 7,392 miles. So they use this Boeing 777-300. So I picked the two cities in the north, more or less the same latitudes and longitudes of Sydney to Santiago. Now, from Sydney to Santiago, which is a shorter distance in miles and kilometers, they use a faster airplane, a Boeing 787-9, with a range of almost 16,000 kilometers. So of course there is something going on in the south. Of course the distances here are much greater. Of course they are flying the jet streams, adding to the speed of the plane at least 300 miles per hour. Of course, the truth is out there. If you don't want to say, look at these two Volkswagens. Both of them look the same year, same color. One of them has a V8 engine, all right? Of course, you're going to say this is the one because it has sporty wheels, right? But the same engine, V8 engine, you can put in this car here, and they look alike. So, of course, they look alike, but one is faster than the other. So they are flying a 787-9 here, but those are special planes. They're not regular planes, okay? According to David Wise, they are painted with 7 layers of paint, which means to absorb more heat. And who knows the speed of these engines, adding to the speed with the jet stream. So don't tell me that the flight routes make more sense on the globe, because they don't, all right? They just don't, okay? So I'm sorry to say that you are just a shill, okay? And globe-loving shill, you're blind, okay? And, right? So let me look at the comments real quick. Yeah, exactly, okay? Emirates, they stop in Dubai because we are on a flat earth, okay? We live on a flat earth. Yeah, that NASA lady, it's a perfect sphere. I mean, they don't know. Once the European Space Agency says the Earth is like a potato shape, and I mean, it's ridiculous. The globe is scientifically impossible. Okay, there's nobody, airplanes flying upside down on a globe. And I like to show this picture here, because globers love to say, oh, there's no up and down the globe. But yes, there is. All right, yes, there is. Okay, an airplane takes off the north. When the time they flying over the, let me hide the comment so you can see better the picture. Okay. All right, so here's the astronaut from the fake station. This plane takes off from the North Pole. By the time they reach the Antarctica, it's flying upside down. So don't tell me there are no planes flying upside down. There's no upside down on the ballers. Of course there is. If you live here in one orientation, by the time you get to the bottom, you're gonna be, I mean, this is what I've been taking now. If you go around, it's gonna be upside down. So I mean, these globers, I mean, they are absolutely insane, absolutely insane. All right, guys, let me go to the chat. No, it doesn't work on the globe. Okay. So let me see here. My family humiliated me because I think I'm crazy. Angela, yeah, they're blind. A lot of people are blind. I'm going to put out a video this week. We are fighting. The Bible says that we're fighting against the, you know, Protest powers in above. Okay, a lot of demonic. So we're fighting against warlocks. Uh, there was a doctor. He was. There was a guy. I watched this video couple. It was very disturbing because the guy's mom was sick at the hospital, and the guy was pleading to the doctor, please take care of my mom. And the doctor was, I'm gonna have my lunchtime. I'll take care of her after 1 hour. And the doctor was wearing the upside down star, the Baphomet symbol. And the man said, you're a doctor and you're a Satanist. And he said yes. So guys, politicians, pilots, doctors, you name it, this guy, a lot of them, not all, a lot of them are Satanists. They worship the devil. And they are liars. Okay? And they are out there to spread lies, just like this guy is here to spread lies. Okay? So, Angela, your family thinks you're crazy. When Noah was building an ark, I'm pretty sure he had distant cousins who thought they didn't make it to the ark because they thought Noah was crazy. Okay, only his immediate family was in the ark. Okay, he had pretty much, I know he had the extended family, they didn't make it. So sometimes these people won't make it. We have to face reality. The Bible says there two will be laying down on a bed. One will be taken, the other one will be left behind. So you guys have to understand that salvation is individual, and that if the Lord doesn't open these people's eyes, there's nothing that you can do. And one more thing. Several times, people say, I had this conversation, not a conversation, I had an argument with Eric Dubé several years ago because he removed some of the Bible verses when he was reading the 18th century, 19th century books, flat earth books. And he said, well, many atheists don't want to hear about the Bible. Now, the Bible is very clear, okay? In the parable of the rich and Lazarus, after both died and the rich man was suffering, he said, let me go back and tell my family. And what was the answer? If they don't listen to Moses and the prophets, they're not going to listen to you. So if these guys are not listening to the Bible, they're not going to listen to me. Okay, don't matter how much evidence I can bring of the flat earth. I'm not going to water down the Bible because just to please somebody's atheism or higher education. I don't care. I have a master's degree. I could have gotten my doctor's degree, my PhD. And everything, Paul said that everything it was considered nothing compared to the knowledge of, the gospel. So, all right, let me see here what's going on. It's program response. Not everyone is ready to session. Yes, it is. Eric and Marta, bet you that won't make any better camera than the P9. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. They have the capacity, of course, but they won't. I don't think they will. Realize, yes. So guys, I'm about to wrap it up. I have gone over my 75 minutes. I'm not going to be here next week. My daughter is off, so we're planning to go somewhere. Uh, yeah, okay. No, but somebody posted that he read my book, 16 Emergency Landings, and he said that flat routes don't make sense, only make sense in a globe. They don't. They don't make sense in a globe. Okay? It's in okay. Thank you. Pray for them. Yes, let's pray for them. I think there are 246 verses in the Bible referencing the flat earth. I do have this book written by Nathan Roberts somewhere here. And I have also like this one. I'm about to reread this book, where we are. Okay, the earth according to the Bible. I really enjoyed this book, and I'm about to read it again. Okay, it's really nice. Excellent Bible reference. All right, guys, I'm going to be posting this. I'm going to be posting the entire 3 parts of the ocean race in a single video. It's going to be on my channel this week, so stay tuned. All right. Here in Brazil, the satanic system put Bennett in the presidency. Everything is dominated by people, linked to Satanist media, university schools, and direct towards it. Yes, exactly. Everything, man. The whole world is under the influence of the evil one. The Bible is very clear. So I'm not going to water down the gospel just because I want to please some university professors. I am not. Okay, the Bible is very clear. I mean, guys, I don't care how many degrees you have. You can go to hell with all of them. You know, you're gonna go to hell with all of them. If this is very clear, you know, if you don't believe, you're gonna perish in your sins. So I don't care how many degrees Brian Myers have, or Fight the Tight Shirt has. I don't care. You know, if you don't believe what the Bible says, you're not gonna make it. That's the way it is. And everywhere, the the evil one uh, is in charge. You know, everywhere. All right, so let me see here, Martin. Big hug to you, brother. Yeah, they all worship the devil. Okay, so I'm gonna put a link here to my book. Somebody is asking me. Let me find real quick. So you can download for free. There is a person who downloaded the whole book and printed at home in color. Or if you want to buy a copy from Lulu, it's about $46, including delivery, I guess. And if you wait, they have special sales once a month. You get sometimes 30% off, 30% off, so which is a lot. So there is a link here to my book. If you want to buy it online, print the book, I'm going to post in the chat. So guys, I'm going a little bit longer today because I'm not going to be here next week, okay? Next week there will be no show because I'm going to be going out with my daughter. So here's the book, the print book for those who want one. I appreciate, guys. Here's my, if anybody feels like the situation is bad to everyone, including to us. We started the years, we have a small English class school here. Whole bunch of students got, you know what? All of them took it, and all of them got sick. And so we cancel lots of classes. A lot of things going on. We had a rough, So if you feel like supporting me, here's my PayPal. Just go to any of my videos, and you're gonna see there. So let me see. I think there's something else I want to show. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, everyone. We are making 70 people today. Yeah, the Bible is a flat earth book. No question about it. Yes, these people are going to hell with college degrees, you know? And I want to finish, I mean, I don't want to finish. Let me talk about that again. That pilot, who was boasting himself because he made $400,000 a month. I mean, this is a true story, guys. When I was in Brazil, I was much younger teenager. In Brazil, there is a lot of practice like African religion, and uh, they practice sacrifice. They make sacrifice, animal sacrifices. So this family, my sister knew them for a while, and they always struggled. But then time went by. My family met. My sister met with one of the family members, and they really were really well off. Well off. And one of their family members told my sister, "Well, we used to go to church, but now my mom joined this African religion, and she really said, now my mom is worshiping the devil, and we are making more money." Okay, that was what I'm 57. That was when that was like 45 years ago. Okay, so these guys boasting because they're making more money. Well, if you worship the devil, you're gonna be rich. There are people posting on TikTok now videos with mountains of money, and the symbol of a secret society, posing with its stacks of money, like millions of dollars. I mean, you can, but what what will you gain if you win the whole world? You get the whole world and lose your soul, right? So, all right. So let me close today, guys. It was very nice being here today. I'm gonna close with a song. Uh, Again, I wanna shout out to Dimitri. He sent me these lyrics, and I put it together. So thank you again, guys, for one more day, one more live stream. I'm gonna be here next week. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, everybody. God bless each and every one of you. Let me hide this comment, and I'm gonna play the song. As I play this song, we're gonna close the live stream today. So thanks again. Watch my channel this week. I'm gonna post the whole ocean boat video. Will be online this week. All right. So as I play this song, I'll say goodbye. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.